Hola, welcome to the Innovations for the Future Crowd Circle. In this circle, it's welcome all the subjects related with the innovation for the future, and us as game world builders, as someone that are creating game worlds for cultures that are responsible and regenerative. My proposal is for us to go for a check-in. Barbara and Thierry. Yeah, I start. I'm noticing some tiredness in my body. It seems like there is in the children has some flu, and maybe my immunitary system is defending myself. Like it's this kind of symptoms. I'm a little bit also it's wet in the nose. Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it's my body doing the work and fighting the virus. Something like that. I don't know. But I'm noticing that. I have been sitting with my joy this week. I've continued to be liquid state with all the changes and challenges that I'm inviting to myself. And I did in the weekend a trainer that also talked with me. I went to Aljezur near here, Thierry, doing a work with Diogo Ruivo. And about anger, the work with anger, conscious anger, that kind of stuff. And it was really interesting to do that work. I saw men resonating with the work, women and men, and usually it's women that come and talk with me at the end. And this time was men talking. That really, oh, something is changing, something is different here. And the men came very liquid, very touch with the work. Yeah. So maybe something is changing in the field, or this kind of man, this particular man was more open or sensitive to the work. I don't know. That was really something different, and that put me in alert, saying, okay, there is more to know here. And I'm sitting with my joy. This week was a very interesting week with a lot of things moving and changing in my life and in my relations. Like after that period of, let's say, Carnival, going in the shadow and bringing the shadow to the table, something is flourishing now that we are definitely changing for spring. And I also am fit with that sensation inside me, that hopeness, that sense of joy. It's particularly relevant in me. And then this week, there was some interesting conversations around innovations for the future context and what is happening. And one of them, maybe we could talk a little bit about that, was about how, like Nuno da Silva sent me a message, and Marco, there is 3 persons that wants to know more about the innovations for the future and they want to jump in. Do you have anything like a welcome kit or a document or something to support them in the welcome? And my answer was no, we don't have. And we don't have any group or team for welcoming people. And we designed something together, me and Moon, for that context. And yeah, we'll share that. Maybe I will put in a document and share with our community. But that was the thing. That's how people want to join innovations for the future, or get in contact, or connect with us, or whatever. What can they do? And the website that doesn't have anything about that. And then that was a very interesting question that Nuno da Silva brought us to the table this week. And I'm sitting with that. I'm seeing my sadness and anger around that issue of not having something to welcome people and invite people and say, guys, we are doing this. If it resonates, please come. And come to the circle and come to the researching sessions and make proposals like Patrick is doing with the movies and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's it. That's me arriving, sitting in this context with my joy and also noticing what is in this field. And I pass to you, Barbara.
So today I'm also feeling a little bit tired. This week I stay a lot in the computer, working in the computer, and today I really feel tired in this area, in the eyes, and it's something like being in the computer is like doesn't fulfill me. It's something that I put it and I don't receive it. So it's a little bit, I've been there in this week, it was necessary, so it's okay. Today I will not. So I decided to be here in the morning to connect again, something like this, because when I do this, when I stay some time in the computer and working, it's a very lonely work, and I need space to feel something like this. I need really a space to feel, and I usually do it by myself. I really enjoy to be with me, but I also I have this this joy of thinking together. I really enjoy sit and create something together, even I don't know. For instance, today I don't have anything that is moved for me to be here in a sense that I don't know what will happen. So, but I love this kind of places where I can share and connect and create something together, and also that's why for me innovations for the future is always pulling me, because yeah, that's why I am here now. Yeah, but I also feel a little bit sad. I don't know. I don't want to go more. It's just a check-in, but yeah, I am feeling a little bit sad too, at the same time. That's it. I pass it to you, Thierry.
Thank you. I feel a bit chaotic. I had a turbulent night, and yeah, I think basically the whole week was a bit like big shift in energy. It's also what I felt it, and I also picked it up from different astrologers. And interestingly enough, I'm felt drawn to look more into my family history. I've had done that years ago, and somehow by connection with one of my nephews, I felt drawn to just really writing down again what I discovered, and also through that I realized that there was another question I was asked. Okay, what is really my calling? What am I good at? And I think this is really something I've put a lot of attention in the last 10 or 15 years. And I think, to summarize it, it's so important to honor the wisdom of say our ancestors, but not make the same mistakes. And so somehow I was drawn to do that. And one afternoon it was raining here, so I watched a movie about Pearl Harbor, and that actually my grandfather was there when one day after it happened. So I could just really feel kind of the horror. I mean, I haven't been there, of course, but I could feel that it also left an impact on say my grandfather and the generations after. So somehow I'm cleaning that, and that's probably my spring cleaning. And apart from that, yesterday I picked my first peas in the garden. So slowly some some stuff really starts taking root. And I get reminded also with that, because I put some more seeds for herbs and things in it. Some things go quick, but a lot of things it just takes time. So it makes me also realize, okay, I need the good soil. I need to be patient and take care of my body. And at the moment, just one step at a time. Otherwise, I fall over my own shoestrings or something. So that's me. I'm happy to be with you.
Thank you, Thierry. I was noticing in myself what happened this week that has this connection with the innovations for the future. And there is some elements that are curious. One of them that was someone approached me because they are promoting bamboo. There is an association for people that use bamboo for stuff, construction, bikes, plates, whatever, using bamboo. And he said, okay, I know you are doing this work with the innovations and people that are going for sustainability and things like that. And I'd like to know more and see how can we collaborate and do that. And I think it was the first time that did happen, that someone with like a product or something really approach innovation with this mindset of, okay, I have this, I'm also working in this field, how can this information spread in the movement and through the people. It was a very interesting conversation. I learned a lot about bamboo, and the work in the weekend that I talk about was also in a temple built of bamboo. And I learned that there are several productions of bamboo in Portugal, and that Portugal is the biggest exporter of bamboo for Europe.
Okay.
Stuff that I didn't know, and I learned that this week. And yeah, that was a very interesting thing, that approach of people coming and talking about that with the subject, in this case the bamboo. I will record an interview with Luis Gama. It's the person in the Innovations for the Future Game World Builder, to spread the word. But it was really interesting to have that. Also, that question of Nuno Silva that I already talked, that, okay, there is this person that want to join in the movement and start participating. What can I do? That was a very interesting question also. In a way, they are related. People want to know more about that. In the end of the last week, another person, Joana Novo, also approached me to know more about innovation. She's living in Fundão, and when she learned and we had a conversation, she said, okay, there is something missing. There is something missing. All that stuff that you are talking about is not there for us. I need to talk with you to know that this is what's happening. And I think this is information that is relevant for all of us. She comes from the communication and design thing. And yeah, I'm with this feedback. I'm noticing this feedback that innovation in a way is it's a bottom-up thing built in a very emergent kind of way. People are getting to know what is happening, and they are starting making questions and say, we need to put this in a way that reach other people, that other people can join, stuff like that. That is for me what I'm noticing this week around the innovations, or what came to my plate. That the interview that in the Game World Builder was about Famalicão and the transition movement in Famalicão, called Famalicão in Transition. It was a very interesting conversation. They as far as I know, they are the only transition town movement initiative that constitute themselves as an association. Usually they don't use some juridical form, and this one choose to do that. And it's a very interesting thing. I'm also part of the transition town movement since 15 years, more or less. And that was also very interesting thing, because in some parts of the country, what is happening is around it's the transition initiatives that are doing the work, and they are putting this, and in a way that for the last 3 or 4 years it came out of my radar, and now it's coming again. It's arriving again, this contact. It was also Gilles, the guy from Famalicão that approached me, that came to get to me. Yeah, I'm sitting with this in when I make a distillation of what happened this week around innovations and the things innovations. I'm sitting with this topic of communication, how people reach us, what is the information that are going out, and how is that being done. Yeah, that is the thing that I'm sitting. I don't know, what do you think and feel about that? What is your experience or stories around this issue? Yeah. Thank you.
I can relate to that. I regularly I see these interviews that you do coming by on the Telegram group, and somehow it just doesn't happen that I listen to it. And that was one practical thing I wanted to mention anyway, and maybe that's part of like a bigger kind of internal innovation. What I see sometimes in other networks is that they put a very short summary, like the biggest lessons or whatever, like in 3 sentences, and somehow that's I noticed that really helps. And sometimes I need to watch the whole thing, and sometimes I just browse through. And I think that, I mean, I'm a lucky guy. I have time, but a lot of people are probably much more busy than me. So somehow I think it will be good to look at it. And other thing I can offer is I know how to make websites. I've had a website that's more kind of a community thing years ago when I had one of these networks in the Netherlands. I set it up, and it's quite easy, and it really opens up the space. It's much easier for people to find each other, and it's not one guy has to connect everybody. I mean, that's impossible for you to do. So will be really happy to look into that if there's space for that. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it's you get the signals. It's time to do that, because actually I talked about it. I think 2 years ago with Nuno, another Nuno who lives in Uiras, I think somewhere, because he was an IT guy, and he, funny thing, he said, I don't want to talk about technology now. I think in a way he was right, because otherwise you create some kind of website or whatever when the time is not right, and then you don't really know why you're doing it. So maybe now it's a time to look into that. And he actually has a company doing that kind of stuff. So maybe that's something to look into and really open up. And if we can really get the connections happening more fluid, then it will, just as an ecosystem, come to life. And I think actually looking at the big picture, also with the shift I talked about with this astrology, it's the right time for that. So I would be really happy to look into that.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Thierry.
Well, I can also unpack something. When you were talking, Marco, I have 2 questions, and then Thierry brings some solutions. And the questions I have is, who are we? And what is the vision, the dream, something like this, about innovations for the future? I think this could be something like a collective thing if we dream about it. And with more practical thing, I was thinking, trying to answer to this question, who are we, to have a place where each person could put something, answering 2 or 3 questions, and it's like, like a wall. I've been in an impact hub, and we have a wall of members wall, and we have a photo, and we have the name, and we have 2 topics, and we something like I don't know, something about the project and something about the people, what they like, and okay. And at the time it was somebody from the impact hub that managed this thing. But what I really would love to do, and my vision, is something that I can do it myself. Okay, somebody prepares something like a mural, something like this, and if I think I belong to this place, I go there and I put it myself. I envision this. I really love this kind of self-responsibility and collaboration. Really, I don't think it's something like one guy will take care of this. No, we must take care of this, and that's my dream. And I really enjoy being in places like this where I can suggest things. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody else to do it for me. And yeah, and when I do something different, when I do some party here at home, it's like this. And I think it's the feeling good, feeling belonging is related with this. That is something that I also create. It's not somebody creates for me. I would love this will be in the school too. I really enjoy this kind of places where everyone can contribute and bring. And this is, and I can see this is it's joy. People have joy to. I really believe this, that people love to give. I'm sure about this. I'm sure about this. People love to contribute. So it's something. It's a way to receive also. This is, yeah. And I hear a lot talking about regeneration, and this is mainly what is regeneration. Is this thing that organic thing, and yeah. And I also have another idea before, but then it was a place also where, okay, people who are together, closer, they can, how to say, to share things, something like this. I have a tool and I can share it with somebody that is close to me. But in this kind of, as we are in different places, what could we share? And for me, what we could share is knowledge. And I also see this in these interviews that you are doing, Marco. You bring this knowledge. When people share about their projects, this is knowledge in a way. It's their experience and also what they are doing is knowledge. Not just from the head, but it's knowledge. And it was nice to have a place where, I don't know, if I have a question, and I have, for instance, I have this question, if I want to have a bank account, which bank can I put my money? And that I know that this bank is, I don't know, creating something good. And I really don't understand nothing about these kind of things. But maybe here is somebody that have this knowledge. And this is, and it's also this thing that contribute and receiving. And for me, my dream is, my vision is for innovation for the future, even I don't started the movement, but this is my vision, is this kind of thing of sharing. Give and receive. In a free way, is not I give this, I need to receive that. Not this kind of thing. If this joy of giving and the joy of receiving also, that I can see that for sometimes, even for me, is triggered. Receiving things. Okay, yeah, I need help. It's true. Yeah, that's my pearls for today and for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for both reflection and the gifts that you brought to the table. I was not clear, Barbara. I listened to Thierry, you are interested in creating a team or working in the context of communication, websites and whatever of the innovation. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm available for that, and I just checked the guy I talked to 2 years ago was Nuno Matias. I don't know if he's still in the circle.
Yeah.
And it's also good to listen to you and Barbara, because I think it also requires probably as first step to look back. Okay, what's our mission, and probably from there on it can spiral out. Otherwise, probably again we will create some kind of technology, and we don't even know why we're together. So I think that that would be, I think, a good step to do again, because it will definitely strengthen the network. That was also one of the lessons I learned from period I did a similar network in Holland. What I saw at that moment is that I didn't realize, I was totally into co-creation. I thought, okay, just start. We started a foundation and had some partners. And looking back, one of the things I just found out, because I could also see that happening, for a lot of people, they were just in some kind of business, and it was just another network, and they were just looking around if there was some business to be had. And so in that sense, it was not a movement which I was longing to create and what was my mission. But for those people, it was just another network, and they just as honeybees, they were just looking, okay, is there something to get there? And yeah, so that's something to be aware of, I think. And if you have like a circle of people, and I feel somehow you have that, who are really kind of feeling, okay, this is my tribe or whatever you want to call it, then this collective vision gets clear, and that I think will move us forwards. And then the technology, it's not very difficult. I think I made a website in a week for that network, and it was 10 years ago. Now it's even much easier. So I think that would be my input, the next spiral.
Yeah, thank you, Thierry. And Barbara, are you saying that you'd like to be part of that team, like with Thierry and others that want to join?
No, really.
Okay, thank you. Thierry, if so, in the Innovation for the Future thing, there isn't anybody to say, you have to do that or do that or do that. It's more like, I'm feeling the wheel, I go for it, I do it, I call the others. And if you are feeling that wheel, I have a proposal for you to go to the Innovation for the Future crowd events and ask people who wants to join me in this effort, and see if you join a team. And with your post, also I can share with some people that talk me about that talk me the things about that, and see if they want to join. The one that is taking care of that today is Claudian Dobus. We already have a site. It's a very general website. We have also a page in Instagram and Facebook without any publications, because nobody's doing that. We have a presentation also, and we have 2 dialogues. One that we did 2 years ago with the question, what is innovations for the future, between 6 of us, and one that we did together here, the first circle of this this new season, let's call it that. It was about that. It was me, you, Nitzan, I don't remember who was the others, with the same question, who is innovation for the future? And there is also some in the public folder that we have. There also some documents written with the first season of the dialogues, with what people share about what was innovation for the future, what was the challenges that they are seeing. That dialogues that we did at the beginning, it's all has some harvest in documents around that short documents, 1-2 page thing. But the thing is, the information is very spread, it's not connected. And I really enjoyed the idea of us doing the stuff as a crowd thing, like Barbara talking with that empowered context. That for me, yes, if you saw the first presentation of Innovations for the Future, one of the things that say there is Innovation for the Future as a platform. That's it. That's we do the work. It's a platform that we all contribute and do the thing. Yeah, I'm very aligned with that vision. The thing that is in my experience, the thing that is really, and I'm seeing that working very well in possibility management. And in João Semedo, there was this thing that Marco was the center, and people came to Marco and make questions and say, okay, do that thing and do that team and do that. And yes, the work was made in teams, but in a way, Mark is the one that was the maestro of the thing. the thing. In Innovations for the Future, we started in a completely different way. There is no center. There is nobody at the center saying to the others what needs to be done and what will be done. I'm taking care of something. I feel the will to do something like the interviews, and I jump in, I start doing the interviews. I feel the will to have the circle, I starting and do the circle. And that's me, I'm doing it. That is my will, what I want to do here. And the thing is for that, in the Innovations for the Future, that is the thing. If I feel the will to do something, I jump in, say the others, I'm doing, I start doing, and noticing the others and go with that. Nuno da Silva had this will of doing a sensing journey to Tamera, and we went all 30 of us went to Tamera doing a sensing journey. That's the kind of stuff. What is happening? Nitzan has this will of doing the sensing journey to Idanha, and we went there and do that. It's someone else has this will, go, and we support to each other in doing that. And that is a very interesting thing, as an experiment, because if I will not do it, who will do it? I have the idea, and if I'm not bringing myself to the idea, to the table, who will do it? And possibility management, we say, if you saw the job, it's your job. You saw the job. It's your job. Now it's your job. And I saw this, I'm seeing this working in this community for the 6, 7 years for now. It's amazing what we are creating with this context. Like people going in teams and say, I do that, I have the will to do that, and start doing. There is this concept of a bridge house. There is something that bridge modern culture to next culture thing. In possibility management, the next culture is called archiarchy, and the modern culture is called capitalism patriarchy. It's the language that possibility management used to define modern and next culture. And bridge house is something that is a bridge between these two things, supporting people and doing one. And has a concept. It started in Portugal when Clinton and Chloe came here to do a lab in Mafra, in the Universidade dos Valores in Mafra. And that was, it will do 2 years in next June. And that was the first time that people start talking about bridge houses. And now we have near 20 bridge houses all around the world, because they do a work talk with the concept, they write a website with that, and people start joining in teams saying, I want to do that in Poland, I want to do that in Brazil, I want to do that in Portugal, I want to do that and the things start popping up in all the places with this thing, because I saw a job and I say yes to that job. That's the thing. I have a house here, I'm alone, I have this community. Yes, I want to build a bridge house, and I'm doing that. And I open my home and I can receive 6 or 7 people, and we do together, and we publish our experimentation, and we do that and record stuff and blah, blah, blah. And that is happening. And one bridge house is for writing stuff, one bridge house is for possibility coaching, another is for it doesn't matter. People are saying yes, are going, and the thing is happening. And there is rules to engage in that game world of bridge house thing. And you have to comply and all that stuff. And I'm seeing that work properly. Very, wow, amazing stuff doing. And we use Taurus technology as social technology for governance, like holacracy or sociocracy. It comes from a different point of orange. Compatible with this thing of I see a job, it's my job, and the responsibilities is there is no we in responsibility, just high, this kind of distinctions. And that is the thing in the innovations. That is the thing. And I'm seeing how the things go forward as waves. Some of us go and do, and there is a team and do like Paulo and Paula, and the others came together and do a mapping thing, and it happened during 6 or 7 months. A lot of things came there, and hackathons, and and it stopped. And after, there was this group on Eco Village, very active in learning journeys. We went to Habita Regen and 10.Mar and Spiralia, and it stopped. And I'm seeing these waves of different movements, different energies, different people coming out. And I'm sitting with that. What really means to be part of the innovations for the future? And where is the responsibility that I want to take? Yeah. Like Nietzsche and the guys in Idanha take responsibility for creating a node of innovations in Idanha. And the node is very alive. They have more than 200 people in that node. And they share and they ask for stuff they do stuff together. They go in working in their farm and that project, and they lend tractors and machinery, and they do a lot of stuff. And that was the case 2 years ago. It started in September. We'll do next September 2 years. And Nietzsche and the other guys take responsibility for that. They say, yes, we will do this. Marco, can you come here? Jose, can you come here? Let's do something. It happened. And I'm sitting with that as an experimenting. I'm doing myself, like implicated myself in what I want to do, and saying yes to the invitations that people make me. I don't remember to say no to an invitation that was made to me in the context of innovations for the future. And that is the thing. That is the thing. Like, I was very happy when I saw Nuno saying, Marco, these guys want to, can you orient me in how can we join people together? And yeah, we don't have. Well, let's do it. Okay, that works. That works. Nuno takes responsibility for that. That for me works. What it comes alive in you with this sharing, with this?
You mentioned that Nuno is already getting this information together.
Yeah, he already did it. I sent
Okay.
I sent some information to him, and he did something, and it's happening.
Yeah, because that's also kind of basically, you could say, a prototype of getting other people informed and engaged in the network. So that can be just the first step, first lesson, and then see, okay, do we need more? Because the tricky thing is always you can make beautiful websites and documents and whatever, and if it's too much, then it's also a waste of time.
And what do you think and feel about this philosophy, that this way of being that we are experimenting in the innovations?
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's, I mean, you always need some kind of foundation and also connection. And if there's no life energy in something, then just doesn't happen. I used to be much more proactive in things, and now I'm really this beach behind me. If I would have a choice, but sitting behind the computer for a few days and making something that nobody's interested in, or just sitting on the beach, I'm going to sit on the beach. And at the same time, I'm when it flows, and you can put it together with people, I'm totally there. I mean, that's one of my frustrations for the last year, that I see the possibilities, but it just doesn't happen. People are still busy in something else, or something gets blocked, and that was something that really frustrated me. So I will be really happy to just get this beautiful bouquet of people flowering more, and that we can find each other easier, That would be kind of the wording that I would use. Getting more active, getting more connected, and getting more successful together.
Hearing you both, I remember sentences from Sociocracy is safe enough for now and good enough, something like this.
Safe enough to try, good. Safe enough for good enough. Safe enough for now, good enough to try.
Yeah, and I remember this many times because well, I'm a designer and I like to do, you know, good things, and I have this. I want everything well. Perfect. The word, it will be perfect. So I have to say this many times. Okay, this phrase is beautiful for me. I really get it for me. And also to say this is better to do something. I don't know. What I used in this phrase for my life is something. I'll do it in a small steps, in a really small. Started small with a very easy tool, and then if this works, it's something like keep going. Okay, this works. Okay, I can go. And this brings more flexibility, not this perfect thing, and it's easier and put things out there more rapidly. It's a hard thing for me, but yeah. Try not complicate, simplificate. Yeah. And go and sensing what people, well, if people resonate with that, okay, if I go this, no, maybe like this. Like a plant also. Yeah. I'm noticing the time.
Yes, good that you mentioned it, Barbara, because one simple idea, I think the first step would be to really get a connection with somebody who says, okay, let's just explore a bit in a network and see what the needs are. But one practical thing that idea that I came up with, you have this this tool that they use often in the ULab. It's called a word cloud, and it's very easy. You know, you just different questions. You can just ask, okay, what's the word that comes up, and then you get very quickly you get a flavor of what's people feel and think in the community, and also the amount of response, because that's always first question, of course. Okay, do people read the post, and how alive is the desire anyway?
Yeah, I'm very glad with this conversation, because it brought something that I'm sensing that is in the field of the innovation, like with these questions of Nuno and with this question from Sylvia and Luis Gama. And in a way, it resonates between us, and we have some experience around that also. And I'm glad to see this movement of you, Thierry, saying, okay, I want to contribute in this context. And I'm eager to see the post in the innovations for the future. I can also support in creating a Telegram group and sending the call for people with the link, and also to give to access to the information that already exists, where the things are, you can count on me for that. And with that thing that Nuno did, I will also put that in a file and put that thing there for as a beginning and as a starting point for something that welcome people. Yeah, that's me. That's me wrapping up and checking out.
Yeah, want to say I'm also happy. I feel in my body it's still kind of early spring, but okay, we just whatever, somewhere in March, so that's okay. But I'm really looking forward to seeing more of these flowers coming up. So I'm happy.
Thank you, Thierry.
I feel this joy. I feel it here. Something something like feeling alive, something like this, of this sharing, this collective thing. And I keep my eyes open to see what is my goal in this movement. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Thierry. See you next week.
Até para a semana.
Até já.
Thanks.